Fox News suspending Judge Jeanine at least for this weekend. Sources telling Newsmax that Pirro wanted to talk about alleged voter fraud in the election, and she wanted to defend President Trump. But Fox decided not to air her show and instead extended its coverage of Joe Biden's victory speech. It's unknown for how long Pirro is suspended or if her show will come back next week. Fox denies that she was suspended. They said they always planned to have extended coverage of Vice President Biden's speech. A lot of people are upset with Fox News. They have a new home here at Newsmax TV. We've heard from so many folks. Welcome. Great to hear from you on Twitter and elsewhere. Newsmax TV has now surpassed Fox Business and CNBC in key ratings in the daytime. We saw 287,000 viewers per minute during daytime, which is more than CNBC's 285,000, and Fox Business, who had 281,000. All this came the day after Election Day. Nielsen says Newsmax election night coverage was watched by 3 million viewers. It was an honor to be there with you for most of that, as many as 600,000 people watching per minute. Let's talk more about this dynamic, the change in the landscape of the media, and welcome in Stinchfield, the man himself, Grant Stinchfield. Great to see you, Grant.
It's great to see you, John. Absolutely. Good to be here this weekend.
And I know you were getting recognized all over town before this, but personally for me, the response has been overwhelming, literally. I mean, getting stopped by people, pats on the back, friends of mine who have giving me a little crap for the years just because, it's fun to do when one of your friends is on TV. They like to make fun of you, but they all tune in and watch election night. This is great stuff because, we still have the results of the election to determine here, but we're happy to welcome these new folks here and be this source of information for them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, John. And, you've been such a big part of this, being there from basically the beginning. I came in, 6-8 months ago doing a weekend show, and then we started Stinchfield, our 8 o'clock Eastern time show, back in August. And we've seen tremendous growth throughout the whole network, not just Stinchfield's show, but your show, and then through daytime, leading all through Greg Kelly and then into Stinchfield. And so we knew that this momentum was building. And I talk to the viewers who I look at as a team. We're like a family. Mm-hmm. And I say we're building an army on my show, Stinchfield. And I'm going to tell you something. That army is growing into a giant, powerful platoon because I'm like you, John. I have seen and I hear from viewers more than I have ever had before. And I think it took this catalyst. The sad news about President Trump falling behind in some of these states. But I'm not counting him out yet either. So when I say this, I'm also couching it with this. I'm not counting the president out just yet. But it took Fox News to take so long to call Florida in an obnoxious fashion not to call Florida. Newsmax, of course, did. And then it quickly calls Arizona with all of the problems there. And then you see the other networks, including Fox News, calling the race altogether. My question for the executives at Fox News is, how do you call this race when you know there are so many problems out there? We've heard from everyday folks, including poll watchers, vote counters themselves who have seen these problems. We know there are lawsuits about to unfold across this country. The media does not pick who wins an election. It just doesn't work that way. The states have to certify these ballots. That has not happened in one state yet. And yet everyone's going crazy. And the media is culpable in this. John, I'll tell you, when I watched last night the pomp and circumstance, this is all part of the mainstream media working with the Biden campaign to push through this process, to give it an air and a sense of legitimacy when there's nothing yet legitimate about it. Is Joe Biden in a good spot? Would I rather be in his spot than in Trump's spot right now? Absolutely. I admit that. But it's not over yet. And the media wants everyone out there to think it is. That's not happening here at Newsmax, and it certainly is not going to happen on our show until we get to the bottom of every legal vote counted.
Yeah, most importantly, I think the response that we got from our viewers, our new viewers especially, is that they see right through exactly what you just talked about. They are done with that type of presentation. They know what's going on, even if they don't want to admit it in these think tanks or these, fishbowls up there in New York and Washington, D.C. The American public knows better, and they're on to the game. Grant, great to see you. We'll see you at 8 p.m. Talk to you soon.
All right, my man. Thank you.